Good afternoon. Thank you, everybody. My name's Russell Yates. I'm one of the customer experience specialists here at AWS. And it's my job in the next 45 minutes with my colleagues to take you through how you can transform your customer experience with Amazon Connect, with AWS's AI-powered contact center. Today, I'm going to be joined by a couple of colleagues, Nawaz Vada, a senior solution architect specializing in Amazon Connect, and also Jeff Bennett, the VP of Operations from one of our customers, Zeps. We'll go into their story a little bit later, but we thought we would set the scene around what Amazon Connect is for any of you who aren't aware. So what is Amazon Connect? Amazon Connect is an omni-channel cloud contact center built from the ground upwards in the AWS cloud, and has been in the marketplace for 7 years now. But actually it's been used within our retail business for the last 15 years. And why is that important to you as a customer? To know that this is proven technology that we use in our business today. And I think everybody here would agree that Amazon.com has exceptional customer service. And we obsess about our customers. The plan for Amazon Connect has always been to innovate and have a single application to deliver one seamless experience for your customers, for your agents, your managers, your supervisors. And that theme will go throughout this presentation today. Since we launched the product 7 years ago, the innovation has continued. And when you hear Jeff's story at the end, you'll hear how they've gone from just using a voice channel to many of the products that we have in the suite to deliver this seamless experience. Each and every day, there's 10 million interactions on Amazon Connect, going through the platform, helping customers all over the world. If any of you were in the keynote this morning, you would have heard Peter Jordan, the CIO of TUI, with their 12,000 agents that has transitioned to Amazon Connect across Europe for lots of their key markets. That's 12,000 agents. Jeff is going to talk about what Zeps have got, more like 600 agents. But each and every customer who uses Amazon Connect has this access to the same features and functionalities, consumed in the same way, and available at the click of a switch. So let's talk about the differentiators with Amazon Connect. So I've mentioned some of these already, the first thing being that this is a true consumption model. Like other AWS services, you only pay for what you use. And this is really important for organizations who want to innovate, because instead of the model of previous years of where you've had to commit for years a number of agents for each and every functionality, now you can consume Amazon Connect as and when you want it. This encourages innovation. This encourages you to drive the cost to serve down while being innovative. So let's look at a couple of points on this slide now, which I think are really important. To deliver exceptional customer experience, I believe that you have to deliver a personal, dynamic, and naturally automated experience. And how do we do that in the platform? We do that like I would want and expect when I call an organization, for them to know who I am, to shape that journey based on what I'm doing. So if I'm going on a flight tomorrow, that it knows what flight I'm on. They know if it's been canceled or delayed. And then use natural automation to shape that journey in whatever way. If I could be self-served, moving it in this direction. If I need to speak to a chat agent, a voice agent in my own language, that's what I'm talking about. And at the cornerstone of this, we believe that CX transformation is only possible when you're using AI and machine learning in every interaction. And why is that important? Well, it's important because you have to understand what's going on those interactions and understand each and every conversation in the IVR, in the voice, in the chat, in everything you do to improve those journeys. It's all about continuous improvement. So let's move on. As I mentioned, we're going to be talking about various customer personas throughout this presentation. And above me that you will see the customer, agent, supervisor, and administrator. So let's start with the customer. The key things to think about are all the traditional things that you would have seen within Amazon Connect. And when the product was launched, it was voice only. But since then, and including last year alone, there were 138 product innovations within Amazon Connect. And this delivered customers the technology they needed to in the ever-changing world. So, be that conversational IVRs in chatbots, with Amazon Lex, now as he's going to go into that in a bit more detail, chat, SMS, and one of the new innovations that we see on the customer side is the in-app calling, web messaging and video. This is so important. Again, I refer to a travel situation of where a passenger is overseas, they're on the hotel Wi-Fi and they want to make a contact back to the contact center. They don't want to phone up with roaming charges. They want to drive that journey from the app. And that's what we're seeing with a lot of customers. Let's move on to the agent side now. So on the agent side, we're talking about agent workspace. So if you've used Amazon Connect before, we have a native agent workspace. And a lot of innovation has gone into this area. And this is around the knowledge and agent assist that we're really going to dive deeper on. These are the key AI services. And then we've got Amazon Connect cases and our case management and our step-by-step guides that now as he's going to show you in more detail in the demonstration. And again, these are two new features that were created last year that take Amazon Connect from being a basic contact center to be able to handle each and every query that a customer might have when they're on the call. And we know if we provide agents with every bit of information that they need on their screen, that they can handle a customer in a better way. And the more information an agent has, the better the customer experience. If we head back to this side, the supervisor. Supervisor's all about analytics, optimization, understand what's going on. So the real-time reporting, speech and text analytics with contact lens, understanding, as I said, each and every conversation, and then feeding that information back into our CRM so we've got that data forever, and innovating and iterating based on what people have said. And the final thing as well, our forecasting, capacity planning and scheduling. Workforce management is so important, and using AI and machine learning in the contact center, using this technology to optimize your workforce for those client interactions. And then on the administration side again, AWS and Amazon Connect built in the AWS cloud for everything that you would expect, scalability, reliability, security, all of those key things, access to APIs, SDKs to pull data from third-party applications back in. So this is what delivers the single application and the seamless experience. This talk today is about AI and generative AI, and it'd be remiss not to talk about AI as a specific topic. AI is at the backbone of Amazon Connect, and it's in our DNA. And this allows these technologies here, some of which I've already talked about, allow CX leaders like some of you in this room today or some in your business to do more with less, identifying how we improve things, reducing cost to serve whilst increasing customer experience. One of the key things that I didn't mention on the previous slide is about identifying who it is by what they're saying. So using passive voice biometrics to understand who a customer is. This might save 30 seconds in a conversation for ID and verification. And this really allows you as a business to save time, reduce that time. And when you're doing thousands or tens of thousands or millions of calls, you can see a real reduction in the cost. So let's move on to the key areas of generative AI. Our belief at AWS is there have been a lot of things in the press about generative AI, and it's the buzzword, especially in contact centers. But we see three key streams that we should be looking to focus on. One is ease of use. And if anybody's used Amazon Connect in the past, or some of the services in the predecessor product called Wisdom, it's got to be easy to use. There can't be any loads of engineering work, and this is true within Amazon Connect. The second one is trying to avoid those hallucinations that we've heard about in the press, in some key customers, where you hear where wrong information or bad answers have been provided. We believe that the agent should work in hand with the generative AI and the manager as well to furnish with them the right information so they can handle it without just sending that straight to the customer. The final thing is about cost control. We all know that generative AI and using large language models could potentially be very expensive. So why would we use this if we were doing a simple password reset. We can do that already with Amazon Lex or in the workflows. And why would we use it if you were doing a high-value refund for a luxury product? You wouldn't want to do that. So let's look at the four key areas again, specifically around generative AI. So on the customer side, we can create human-like conversations. Now, as he's going to go into this in a little bit more detail. On the agent side, providing them that agent assistance, listening what's been said and giving them an answer. On the supervisor side, reading those transcriptions of long calls and then shortening that down to a couple of sentences for what actually happened on that call, and having that information for the next agent to see if somebody calls back to summarize what might be a 7, a 10, 11-minute call. And then on the final thing, on the administrator side, all businesses have technical debt. You will hear this from Jeff when he talks shortly of the number of applications people have. And it's really important to think how we can pull that data into customer profiles and again, provide that to the agent without the need for extensive engineering work. So let's go into the core themes. We're going to talk about these core themes now, but we're going to start with agent assistance. But we should just mention Amazon Q. So Amazon Q is the generative AI personal assistant that sits across a lot of services within AWS. We're specifically today going to be talking about Amazon Q in Connect. And the first example that we're going to use here is about how we can provide generative AI-powered answers to customer queries. So in this scenario, somebody calls in, we're speaking to them, we're taking that transcription and we're providing the agent with the information. This can be from a voice perspective or a text perspective. This doesn't have to be in real time. Agents have got the ability to type any information in the general search and get information back. And we also show them the source data so they can go and investigate further. So let's look what that looks like on the agent workspace. So on the top right-hand side, you can see we've detected the theme. So in this case, the person's talking about fraud. We've then created the generated response, which is how the agent should handle this. In a voice environment, this would be just telling them what to say, or in a chat environment, passing that over. We tell them what they should do, follow these processes, and then the final thing, the articles and the documents of how they should handle it. I'm now going to hand over to Nawaz, who's going to take you through in a bit more detail a demonstration and go through the further use cases for Amazon Connect.
Thank you, Russell.
Okay.
Hello, good afternoon. In the next few minutes, I'm going to take you through some of the Gen AI capabilities that's relevant to your contact center on Amazon Connect. The first feature I'm going to talk about is Amazon Q in Connect. I have a demo wherein I'll show how Amazon Q in Connect is going to assist your agents. On the screen, what we have is the agent workspace application. Our agent, John, is logged into this application. And on the left-hand side, John can see through the contact control panel the interaction that has happened so far between the customer and the agent. Sorry, the customer and the bot. So what John can see here is he can see that the customer, Nikki Wolf, has had her credit limit increased. This is a financial services use case. And this is a chat interaction. And the bot has proactively recommended Nikki that she go for a rewards card because Nikki has been traveling a lot and this might be really useful to her. So at this stage, Nikki decides to speak to an agent. In the middle of the screen, we have the Amazon Connect agent step-by-step guides. What step-by-step guides does is it creates a unique view for the agent with all the relevant instructions and guidance based on the context of the conversation that has happened so far within the IVR and and all the history we have about this particular customer and presents it to the agent. And on the right side, we have Amazon Q in Connect. Amazon Q in Connect, what it does is it listens to the interaction that's happening between the agent and the customer. And based on the responses given by the customer, it's going to search through its knowledge articles and generate a response. So with that, what I'll do is now I'll play the demo. On the left-hand side, Just waiting for the demo to start. Yep. On the left side, we have the agent control panel. Just waiting for the demo to start here. Apologies. Now, Nikki has typed in that she is interested in this particular card. Listening to this conversation, on the right, we have Amazon Connect agent, Amazon Connect queue. So what it's doing at this stage is it's listened to the conversation that has happened between Nikki and the customer and provided a response to the agent. Agent copies that response and gives it to Nikki. Nikki sees, likes what she sees, and then carries on saying that she would like to apply for this card. Amazon Q in Connect, again, what it does is it searches through its knowledge article, finds a relevant knowledge article, generates a response, and then with a solution and gives it to the agent. Agent can now look at the solution, go through the step-by-step guidance with all the relevant information that's needed. And at this stage, what happens is agent applies for the card, and then this information is presented to Nikki. So what has happened as far as GenAI is concerned is the conversation that was happening between the customer and the agent was being listened by Amazon Q in Connect. It can listen to voice as well as chat interactions. So as soon as the response was given by the customer, it goes through his knowledge article, finds the relevant article, generates a response, and then a solution and presents it to the agent. This is being done using GenAI. So the next topic I would like to talk about at this stage is how GenAI can help the managers. Within Amazon Connect, there's a feature called Amazon Connect Contact Lens. So what Amazon Connect Contact Lens does is it listens to the interaction that is happening between the customer and the agent. And what it does is in real time, it will analyze that particular interaction. This can be for a voice as well as for chat interactions. Then from post-contact perspective, what it also does is it takes the call recording. If it's a voice call, it transcribes it. For a chat interaction, the transcription is already available. So once it has transcribed, it takes the transcription and performs sentiment analysis against it. Then it takes the transcription again and performs contact categorization. This is based on the rules which you have created. Then it also uses machine learning to tell you why your callers have actually called up. And it also tells you information such as what was the action, if any, was taken by your agent and what was the outcome of the conversation. Then now what Contact Lens can also do using GenAI, it can go through the entire conversation and generate a response. This response is going to be summarized into few sentences. It's all using GenAI. So at this stage, if I show you a contact record, this is a record that gets generated for every single conversation that is happening within Amazon Connect. Here, I have highlighted the summary of a 7 minutes voice call. So what contact lens has done is it has summarized the 7 minutes voice interaction into 3 sentences. And if I read out the summary, it is like this. The customer expresses frustration about a delayed gift delivery. The call center agent apologizes, explains the delay, and suggests sending a replacement. The customer reluctantly agrees, emphasizing the importance of timely delivery. So all this has happened without any configuration needing on your part. All we have to do is enable contact summarization within contact lens. I have another use case here wherein our agent is logged into contact control panel. They are presented with an Amazon Connect task, which has been routed to them. And within that task, there is a message saying that this particular agent has missed their compliance message. And now the supervisor is trying to perform evaluation. Within this contact record, which is again a 11 minutes voice call, which has been summarized into 4 sentences using GenAI. Now the supervisor knows why the call has happened, what the customer needed, what was the agent requirement, and what did the agent do, and what was the outcome. So now the supervisor is in a position to perform evaluations. Supervisor uses Amazon Connect evaluations performance for agent. They are presented with a question that is prepared by your quality management team. The supervisor can now go through the questionnaire. The first question here is, did the agent offer additional assistance? So at this stage, the supervisor decides to use GenAI assistance. They go through it. GenAI now says the agent has offered additional assistance, and it also offers transcript as a reference to support this answer. So now the supervisor can go on and perform the entire evaluation. So what has happened so far is we have used GenAI in 2 places to help our managers. One is to summarize the conversation, and then to assist our managers to perform evaluations. The next topic I would like to cover is on how we can use GenAI to help customer self-service. Amazon Connect is integrated with Amazon Lex. Amazon Lex is a service to create conversational interfaces for voice and chat interactions. Amazon Lex uses the same conversational engine that Amazon Alexa uses. So there are 3 specific features I would like to talk about here. The first one is conversational Q&A bot. Now we can enable conversational Q&A bot that uses GenAI to rapidly generate a response with all the relevant information and present it to the customer. This does it by searching through the knowledge articles and FAQs and to come back with a concise summary. Feature number 2, descriptive bot builder. So within the descriptive bot builder, now what we can do is we can use natural language to create bots. You can say things such as, build me a bot on hotel booking service. Now Amazon Lex can go and build a bot and design it using GenAI. The third feature I want to talk about here is, now Amazon Lex can understand more complex customer responses. Let me give you 2 examples. For a hotel booking service, when customers are prompted with a question, how many nights would you like to stay? Some customers may give a very straightforward answer, 3 nights. However, some customers could also say Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's a complex response. Now Amazon Lex, using GenAI, is able to understand what the customer meant. In this case, it's 3 nights. Another example here is when customers are given a response, a prompt such as, how many guests are going to stay? Some customers may say, me, my spouse, and 2 kids. So Amazon Lex using GenAI can understand the customer meant 4 nights and move on with the conversation. The last topic I would like to cover here is how GenAI can assist your administrators. Within Amazon Connect customer profiles, there's a feature that uses generative AI augmented data mapping. So before I get into this feature itself, I would like to explain what is Amazon Connect customer profiles. Customer profiles creates a unified view of your agent. This does it by aggregating data from multiple systems, such as your CRMs and homegrown applications. And once it has done, it creates a unified view. And this unified view of your customer can be used during self-service, can also be used during contact routing, and to improve agent productivity. Data mapping is a very complex task. If you're trying to map data from multiple systems and you need technical expertise on data mapping and data engineering skills are required. However, now using GenAI, customers can onboard data from multiple systems without needing any manual steps. Customer profiles can now understand relationship between the data coming from different systems such as orders, cases, and web activity, and automatically suggest how the data should be mapped. Contact center managers can now use the no-code UI that comes for data mapping without needing any technical expertise. Once the data has been mapped, that data is made available automatically for self-service tools and to help your agents resolve customer problems. So to summarize, so far what we have seen is how we could use GenAI to assist 4 different personas in our contact center. We use GenAI to help our agents using Amazon Q in Connect by providing right information at the right time. We then also used GenAI with Contact Lens to show how our managers could be helped. Then we used GenAI to help perform self-service for customers using Amazon Lex. And finally, we helped our administrators with GenAI. So far, what we have done is we have spoken, Russell and I, on how we could use GenAI and all these features on Amazon Connect from demos and examples. Now I would like to invite Jeff, VP of Operations in Zeps, to talk about how they have used Amazon Connect. Jeff?
Thanks, Nawaz. First off, I have a pretty terrible head cold, so I'm going to try very hard not to blow anybody's eardrums out with this silent disco thing. So if you see me taking a sip of water, it's as much for your benefit as it is mine. I wanted to start and talk a little bit about Zeps. I don't know that Zeps is a super well-known brand here in the UK, but it's really a holding company that looks after WorldRemit and SendWave. Those are international money transfer services, right? So if you need to send money from here to other parts of the world, instead of going to a brick and mortar store, you can pull up your phone and do it on your phone. Our vision and mission really is to celebrate the migrants that have left their home, left their family, left their community, and have ventured out into the world to make a better place for themselves and those they care about. And we're trying to use technology to do that. A little bit about me. So I work on the operations team. We have a lot of our operations team over here. I've got 17 or so years of technology consulting experience installing systems very similar to Amazon Connect. I've been at Zeps WorldRemit for 3 years. And my teams are responsible for operational transformation and strategy. And this is an exciting year for us. This year, the way that we did things in operation on January 1st, nothing will be the same come December 31st. We are changing how we do everything. And Amazon Connect is a very big part of that. When I started to think about the presentation I wanted to give today, I'm not as technical as Russell and Nawaz, so I decided I wanted to tell a story. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and I tell a lot of bedtime stories. So that's kind of my sweet spot. And I know it's after lunch. I hope I don't put anybody to sleep, but we'll go from there. As with any story, we really need like heroes and a dragon, right? And so the heroes that we're talking about today are those migrants that have gone abroad. They've left their family, they've left their community. They're out in the world forging their own path, and they're sending money, and they're sending resources home to their friends and family who need them. And are also our customer care agents, right? So those are the people that are on the phone. How many people here have had a less than ideal interaction with a customer care agent, right? Like, I would expect everybody in the room. How many of those customer care interactions were based on trying to get money home because your mom needed surgery and she can't have that until you actually get the money there? Those are the situations that these people face, and that's what we're really trying to solve for. And the dragon that we have to end up slaying is our technical debt and our complicated architecture. We've been very privileged in how we've grown, and we've been able to invest in technology that has created less than ideal solutions that our customer care agents are using. So as we go on our journey, World Remit was founded in 2010, and really was focused on providing easier, more accessible, transparent ways to send money abroad. At first, we had a few customers, and people really started to pay attention and like it. Then in 2021, we merged with a company called Sendwave, and so now we have two different customer bases. World Remit is a very popular brand here in the UK. Sendwave is a very popular brand here in the US. You can tell from my accent, I'm from the US. Most of our technology and product team is based here in the UK, and most of our customer service team is based in the Philippines. So we are truly a global company with global brands. We support 5,000 money transfer corridors, and so if you think about it, if you send money from the UK to the Philippines, the UK, that's a corridor for us. You send money from the UK to Senegal, that's another corridor. So we support 5,000 different send and receive locations. We serviced over 100 million transactions last year, and we transferred $16 billion across those rails in 2023. In the beginning, things were pretty easy. We had a pretty small customer base. We had a pretty small customer care team. And it's pretty simple to answer simple questions when they come in. When you don't have a lot of people, you don't have a lot of technology there. But as the customer base grew, we were able to invest in more technology. And as it grew, we continued to invest in technology. And that's when our dragon first starts to appear. As we've invested more and more and more, we're making very specific investments to solve very specific problems, but we're not really doing it in a way, the thoughtful way around how is that all going to work together. It's a privilege to be able to make that type of investment. We were able to buy the technology solutions that we needed, but at the end, we had 13 different systems we were using to manage our customer interactions and our customer care agents. And our dragon has become very pronounced, and he is kind of sitting there and he's causing a problem. Our agents are working around the technology to answer customer questions instead of using the technology to help them. When you add in the Sendwave customer base, now we have a whole new set of customers and customer care agents, and we have a whole new set of technologies that they're using to manage it. So we've got duplicative technology, very different across both brands, and it's very complicated. So our dragon is bigger, and he made a friend. So what are we going to do about that? We have to figure out how we're going to slay that dragon. We're going to invest in the technology in a way to simplify and consolidate onto one platform. We needed to build a better mousetrap or a better catapult, right? And so we went out to RFP last year. We considered a lot of different options, and we landed on Amazon Connect. A lot of it had to do with the partnership that we have with Amazon in general, but also the cost per consumption model, right? Like, as we make improvements to our product and we have fewer contacts, we'll pay less money. As we innovate the way that we are able to serve our customers and provide them things faster and more efficiently, get them off the phone faster, that benefits us as well. So that was a real big driver and kind of why we ended up picking Amazon. So our product team, engineering teams, our partners at Amazon, all work together to help us kind of really identify what our long-term strategy was and then start to really componentize and build that out over time. We were already using voice before we started that RFP, but we've now built in kind of the rest of these components, right? So if you think about all the things that Amazon Connect can do, we manage 20 numbers in 12 countries, kind of across the world. They're both toll-free numbers and direct inbound dial numbers. We had two different chat systems, one for SendWave and one for WorldRemit, and they were not great, is a kind way to say it. And so we have implemented chat with Amazon Connect back in August of 2023, and we now see 46% of our contacts running through chat. We leveraged some of the chatbots and guided journeys within that to try to provide deflection, self-service, right? The faster the customer can get the information, the less time they have to spend talking to us, the better outcome for them. And so we were able to deflect about 30% of our chats right now, hoping to move that needle forward in a bit. We just finished an implementation for Amazon Cases for our SendWave brand. And so we turned off our customer contact management software in 3 months. We went from the RFP at the end of last year. We started in the beginning of January, and we have now implemented the Cases modules for our SendWave brand. We're using the customer profile, we're using the step-by-step guides, we're using a lot of those components, and they're really important for us. We can now see kind of the whole customer's perspective across both brands. And so that's a big deal for us that we weren't able to do before. We manage 500 agents across the world, and what is it, 10 time zones, right? 5 continents. And so it's a massive operation, and we were using 2 different workforce management systems, one for SendWave and one for WorldRemit. And we kind of got the idea we wanted to use capacity and forecast planning at the end of last year. And so it was I think a Wednesday or a Thursday. We had a conversation internally. We chatted with Nawaz on I think Friday. On Tuesday we had a demo. On Wednesday we were already using voice for WorldRemit, so we were able to upload that. We loaded in the SendWave data, and by Friday of the next week, we'd already produced schedules. And that was just our team in the Philippines able to do that. So it was a very simple barrier to entry. We're able to get to there very, very quickly. And we leverage Contact Lens and the insights that it can provide and kind of how we manage our customer care operations, right? We want to understand why people contact us, how they feel after they contact us, and then are we presenting information? Are we having good agents? Are we doing things the right way? As we move forward, we're looking at some very interesting things. Most of our customers, English is not their first language, so translation is a big deal for us. So if we can talk to them in their preferred language, that's a huge benefit, and we're looking hard at that. Generative AI, really leveraging that both in the voice and the chat channels to make sure that we're providing good information. We're giving information that allows people to answer their own questions and doing that expeditiously, doing it fast, doing it efficient, doing it correctly. And then the voice ID that Russell mentioned, right? So we work in a regulated industry. We have to verify customers before we can really talk to them. So how can we do that faster? How can we cut 30 seconds off a phone call? That's a big deal for us. Our happily ever after really does look like one consolidated Zepp's customer base with a very much consolidated technology platform and universal agents that can both help WorldRemit customers and SendWave customers across the world. We're always going to have a little bit of a dragon of technical debt. I don't think there's any way we can get away from that. We work in the fintech industry, right? It's going to be there, but we need to keep it manageable. We need to keep it something that is on the forefront of our mind. We don't want to build it and make it worse. And so our solution for that has been Amazon Connect. And then I'll hand it over to Russell. He can talk about kind of one platform, one team, and one great customer experience for you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. What I wanted to just finish the conversation today around was how we can help. We know that any form of transformation like this is not something that can be done very easily. So we've got various things that we can do. Jeff talked about a couple of scenarios in the business that they've done where they've used certified partners, and the partner journey for Amazon Connect is really important. Using partners with the skills in the contact center industry, but also the skills to use some of this technology. But also Jeff also talked about how they'd use forecasting, capacity planning and scheduling, and his own team did that within 2 weeks. So this is the thing with Amazon Connect. Yes, we use partners and we can help things get going, but ultimately if you've got the skills, you can try these things and learn how to use them. And that's why we focus on things like training and certification, but also using the Migration Acceleration Program, or MAP, as you probably know it if you're an AWS customer. The specific programs around Amazon Connect how we help our partners to fund the transformation and allow you to make those transitions of your platforms where you may have dual running of technologies. This is really important. And as I mentioned at the start, we are Amazon. As our retail business, we've got 100,000 agents, and we love sharing what we do with customers and share best practice with our customers of how they would improve. So again, we do learn from Amazon sessions, and I think that's really important. Let's move on to the next steps. I'm always talking to customers about thinking big. So Jeff and the team at Zeps clearly thought big. Where do we want to get to? What's the plan? How are we going to do this? And that's what we do at Amazon. We've always got to be thinking big, thinking about where we want to get to. But it's also about starting small. So the key thing is define the use cases. Think of something in your business. Is this one of your products? Is this one of your channels? Identify that and then start building a proof of concept. Most of this technology, if you're Amazon, an existing AWS customer, you can try it. We've got free tiers. We've got free trials of some of this technology. And if you already use things like Amazon Connect, you can actually switch some of this technology on and it works really quickly, a bit like Jeff said with forecasting, capacity planning, and scheduling. Once we've done the pilot, we need to accelerate. So we've started small, it's delivered what we want, we've iterated for our business, and now we're going to accelerate and move it into production. And if we do this with all the channels that we have within our business, it allows us to deliver those customer experiences that we're all looking for. So finally, there's a 7-day trial for Skills Builder. There are a lot of fundamental courses on there around Amazon Connect and some of the other key things. We also offer immersion days for our customers where you go from zero to hero in a day of learning how to do pretty much everything we talked about. So again, we encourage you to speak to your AWS teams, people like myself, and we can help you on that journey. And then finally, we just wanted to thank everybody for coming here today. We hope this has been insightful. I want a big call out to Jeff, who's not been very well at all, but he's still stood up and done this, and the team from Zeps as well from the UK have come to support him, and also for Nawaz to go into the technical detail. We'll be waiting at the side at the end and outside, so please feel free to come and talk to us about this or speak to your AWS account managers. But up until now, thanks very much and enjoy the rest of your day.